In life, we all encounter obstacles, and those obstacles come in all different shapes, sizes, and forms. The question is, how do we handle those obstacles? Do we attack them head on, or do we allow them to make us quit? Welcome to the No Quit Living podcast, where we aim to motivate and inspire listeners to never give up on themselves, their dreams, or their goals. We will interview successful people from all walks of life as they share their no-quit stories when they had the choice to give up or give in, but they didn't. We thank you for listening, and we hope to be that jolt of positivity as you go for your greatness. Welcome to episode number 200 of the No Quit Living podcast. I'm your host, Christopher J. Worth, and today's theme of the day is gratitude. As we celebrate this monumental episode, I would like to share a quote that I'm not sure who originated it, but I know that I've said it quite a few times this past year. Gratitude is the most powerful word in the dictionary, hands down. Today's episode is sponsored by the good people over at West Fair Communications, who publish the Westchester County Business Journal and the Fairfield County Business Journal. These newspapers do a wonderful job in covering all aspects of the business world within two of the most influential markets in the New York metropolitan area. You can also take advantage of their daily news feeds, which keep track on the companies and thought leaders in these important regions. For more information, take a look at www.westfaironline.com. Trust me, once you start reading, you won't quit. I'm both extremely humbled and unbelievably grateful to bring you today's episode. At the end of 2016, heading into 2017, I had an idea for a podcast. At the time, I'd been listening to 3 or 4 different shows, and podcasting was something that I knew I wanted to do. What exactly it looked like, I wasn't sure, but I knew I wanted to create the No Quit Living podcast, and so I decided to just jump in. Before we get into today's episode, I need to quickly say a very special thank you to some important people throughout this journey. First off, to my podcast partner, West Yee. Thank you, my man. You don't get enough of the credit or praise for this show, and the reality is that without you, none of it would be possible. You do and continue to do everything behind the scenes that make our show possible. So thank you, brother. I truly appreciate you. To my 3 little monsters, Z-Man, Emily, and Mace. I love you guys so much, and I hope I make the 3 of you very proud. And to my parents, I love you both very much, and you've been in my corner from day one. It would take too long to thank everybody individually, but I have a great core group of friends that have really stepped up to show me each and every single day what true friendship is. And to my gym crew and accountability partners, you guys absolutely rock. You keep me focused, disciplined, but you motivate me each and every day to get after it. You guys have been there for me, and I honestly, truly appreciate you. To all of our former guests, thank you. From guest number 1 for our very first episode, Bob Berg, up to our last guest on episode number 199, Lucas Mack, I'm forever indebted to all of you. Not only have you taken time from your busy schedules, but you've also shared, inspired, and been such a huge integral part of making our show what it is today. And lastly to you, our listeners, thank you. I can honestly say that if it wasn't for you, our No Quit tribe, we wouldn't have the No Quit Living podcast. Since April of 2017, you have listened, downloaded, shared, and help build our No Quit brand. As we continue past this 200th episode, I only hope that we can continue to inspire you, bring you more incredible guests, but more importantly, help you pay it forward. I have to be honest, when we first launched our podcast, I often looked at both the iTunes rankings as well as our daily downloads. I think it's only natural to see how you're doing and to measure your success. However, over the past many months, and after both listening and learning from so many of our guests, I realized that it wasn't just about the rankings, the downloads, or the sponsorships. Those things are important, don't get me wrong, but the most important thing I feel for our podcast is to inspire and motivate people to never give up. A word that has been mentioned quite a bit on many of our recent episodes is vulnerability. I have to be completely transparent. Up until a few weeks ago, I personally used to look at that word and I associated it with weakness. However, after many discussions and a couple of very important conversations, I now believe that being vulnerable is actually empowering. Instead of associating that word with weakness or weak, now I associate vulnerability with strength and confidence. One of the areas we often discuss is the concept of the people that are on your bus, in your tribe, and or in your corner. As I look back from the beginning of our show's launch, right up to our 100th episode to today's show, our 200th, I realized that I'm incredibly fortunate and grateful for the amazing people that I have in my own corner. Some of them I speak to numerous times each and every single day, while others we connect when we can. But regardless of the frequency of our contact, all I can say to you is thank you. Although today is our 200th episode, I'm reminded of something that Bob Berg said on our very first episode. We were talking about the people in our lives, and Bob shared his perspective on how people will get both on and off our bus throughout our lives as well as our careers. He then went on to say how some people will be on our bus for the rest of our lives, while others might only stay for an exit or two, or fill a very specific need for a very short period of time. Since it was our first episode, I didn't really understand the concept until pretty recently, as I've been extremely fortunate and lucky to have met some pretty incredible people throughout this podcasting journey. Some of my closest friends today are actually people that I've met through our podcast or other areas of No Quit Living. Another common theme throughout these past 10 to 15 episodes have been the concept of being kind to others. Shola Richards, who was our guest for episode number 192, shared something that absolutely hit me. He explained his perspective on the difference of being nice versus being kind. And I have to say that I've consciously thought about that every single day since. Recently, I shared a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. on our Instagram account. Life's most persistent and nagging question is, what are you doing for others? To me, this quote absolutely epitomized what it means to really and truly pay it forward. I've been going through some very tough personal times this past year and a half, and I've realized that we all do. Life is full of obstacles, challenges, and both peaks and valleys. And the one thing that I've tried to be very conscious of is others and what they might be going through. Although many people can mask things differently, you never know what someone might be battling. And with that in mind, at No Quit Living, we aim to continue to pay it forward, and we hope to inspire others to do the same. Often at the end of our episodes, we challenge our listeners to pay it forward for others, and to do so with zero expectations in return. Many of you might follow us on social media, and possibly you've seen our Pay It Forward with Positivity mission that we are continuing to do each and every day. And what we are doing is leaving positive quotes and notes randomly on people's cars right underneath their windshield wipers. The reason we are doing this very simple is because we can. We hope that our notes are making a positive impact on those people's lives. We hope that as we continue to pay it forward, the people that actually receive those notes and read them pay it forward to others as well. If you follow us on social media, please continue to like, share, and spread that hashtag. The hashtag we are using is Pay It Forward with Positivity Mission. If anyone wants to join our mission, we can send your own No Quit Living notes, or you can very easily just pay it forward with your own notes as you see fit. Before we wrap up today's episode, I would like to again thank you, our listeners. If you have not yet, please subscribe to our show, share it, and leave us a review. The reason we ask this is because it simply allows us to get our show out to more potential listeners and or people that are looking for help and possibly need it. Please also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can find us on all three of those platforms under the name No Quit Living. And if anyone would like to personally reach out to me with any guest suggestions or just to say hello, you can always reach out to me at my personal email address, which is chris@noquitliving.com. As we are right in the heart of our own Pay It Forward with Positivity mission, that is what I challenge each and every single one of you with today. Do something, one thing for somebody else, and do it just because. Do it with zero expectations in return, and continue to pay it for others, with others. And as you go for your greatness today, remember to be kind to others, but also be kind to yourself. And lastly, to our listeners, thank you. We truly appreciate your time, and we hope our episodes inspire you to keep on attacking life and never giving up. To quote Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, it's always too early to quit.